Now, the first step for solving a linear system by substitution is isolate the variable of one of the equations, and we have y isolated in both, so that's already done because y is already isolated in the first and the second equation. Now, we're going to substitute one statement into the other. So we're going to substitute because remember, these two y's are equal at the point of intersection. Because if the point of intersection is 3, 2, then this y is equal to 2 and this y is equal to 2. So we know that they're equal only at the point of intersection. So if this y is equal to negative x plus 1, since these two y's are equal, then the other one is equal to negative x plus 1 as well. So we're going to substitute negative x plus 1 in for y. And so now we've got an equation that we're going to solve, and that's going to be our third step. And so what we're going to do first of all is subtract 2x from both sides and also subtract 1 from both sides. And the reason we subtract 1 from both sides is it eliminates the 1 from the left-hand side of the equation because plus 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. And we subtract 2x from both sides because 2x minus 2x is equal to 0, so that eliminates the x variable from the right side. So negative x plus 1 minus 2x is equal to negative 3x. And 2x minus 2x, as I said, is equal to 0, so we're left with 4 minus 1, which is 3. So now what we have to do is divide both sides by negative 3, and we end up then with negative 1. Because 3 divided by negative 3 is negative 1. So now we have done our third step. So we've found what x is. Now we're going to substitute back for x equals negative 1 into either of the two equations. So we're going to substitute negative 1 in for x in our first equation. And so when we do that, we end up then with y is equal to this is going to be negative 1, or negative 1 times negative 1, which is 1, plus 1 is 2. So x equals negative 1, y is equal to 2. So we've done our fourth step, and our solution is negative 1, 2. So now we're going to check by inspection to see if we've got the right answer. And so our coordinates here, because remember this is a point of intersection of two graphs, two lines on a graph. If this point satisfies both equations, then we know we've got our answer right. So our negative 1 is x and 2 is y. So if we sub in negative 1 for x, it's negative 1 times negative 1 is 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Negative 2 plus 4 is positive 2. So we know we've got them both right. So now solve the linear system here by substitution to find the point of intersection. Now, the first thing you should do in this is identify which variable is easiest to solve for. And so I'm going to get you started here and then leave you to the rest of the question. And either x is easier to isolate than the y because we have coefficients on the y. So what we're going to do is isolate the x variable in the first equation. So what I want you to do is isolate x. And the way we do that is by subtracting 5y from both sides. So then x is equal to 3 minus 5y. So now I want you to complete this question by subbing x equals 3 minus 5y into the other equation and solving for y.